Holy crap, 100 subscribers. Actually, 114. So I wanted to get a video made to celebrate 100 subscribers. I know that that is a small milestone, but for somebody starting off on YouTube, that means something to me. I just wanted to do a quick tour of the shop and kind of how it's set up. And then I have an exciting announcement towards the end here. I'll try to keep this video short. This is going to be a bonus video. Without further ado, here's the shop. So my shop is a typical stick-built garage. It's 30 feet deep and it's 48 feet wide. 12-foot tall sidewalls, so 2x6 construction. There's my AC unit. Here's the other door. This is a gravel approach right now. Someday it'll be concrete, maybe. Each door is 16 foot wide by 8 foot tall. And only the far door down there has an opener. This one is still manual. I have to put a side operator on it. So this should look familiar. Off of the door, coming off the driveway. This is the service stall. This is where we have the lift. This is a Mohawk lift. It's a 9,000 pound. I actually bought this used. Came out of an old service shop, so this is like a mid-90s model. Still very heavy duty, and it works incredibly well for what I'm doing. It fits under the ceiling. I do have a hanging furnace in the corner. I do live in Wisconsin. That is an absolute must. I can't not have that. Pardon the mess in here. This is about how it always is. I'm usually in between, 3-4 projects at once. So obviously there's the Dot and there is a ton of work to come on that thing. Hopefully if I get to it today, if not tomorrow, I will be working on that for next week's video. Let's see, over here is the toolbox, and this is random chemical storage as well as the stereo. I still have yet to organize this. You guys maybe remember the whiteboards. I have one over there, one over here by the oil catch, and then one over by the door. I try to write down tools that I need on that one, and then this is the list for all the cars that we're working on. So you can see here, I wrote down oil pump bolts for the Oldsmobile. I recently swapped the camshaft and I forgot to put them in, so we can actually cross that off. This is sort of the main workbench, and I know what you're thinking. Steve, how do you keep this so clean and organized all the time where you can easily find everything that you need at a moment's notice or at a glance? Yeah, I know. This is kind of my world. I talked about this in a different video. It is what it is. I feel like as soon as I get done putting all the tools away, I have to turn around and take them all back out. So it's kind of an endless battle, over and over and over again, same kind of stuff. Anyway, this is the main workbench. I have a little vise over here. This TV is hooked up to a computer with internet so I can watch YouTube while I'm out here working. I have all kinds of, the special tools. There's just like a slide hammer in there. I think that's an LS harmonic balancer puller. My brake line flaring tool. There's a scan tool over there. Cribbing block. I actually built a set of these. I think the rest of them are over there by the Datsun. And if you don't have a set of these cribbing blocks, man, would I recommend getting a pair or getting a set. They're really easy to build. You can customize them to whatever size you want. And I use them for everything from a step stool to lowering the Oldsmobile onto the cribbing block so that I can set the pinion angle, all kinds of different stuff I use it for. So for the walls of the shop, I just drywalled them. There's fiberglass insulation in the walls and cellulose in the ceiling. And I just used these cheapy 3-panel LED lights from Menards. They work really well for throwing light everywhere. There are 3 ceiling fans, and those help a ton for circulating air, especially from the AC unit. Okay, over in this corner, and actually sort of in this general area, is usually where I store spare engines. This one right in front of us here, piled on with a whole bunch of other crap. Some of you might recognize this. This is the 304 out of the AMC Hornet, Steve's car. This is the engine that will never stop leaking oil no matter how many times I drain it and leave the plug out of the pan. It continues to leak. I think this functions much like a dehumidifier, but it sucks oil vapors out of the air and then condenses them onto the ground. This engine here, this is a 5.3 that I got for free. It was locked up and we broke it free, and it is my spare for the Oldsmobile in case that engine blows up. This is a scrap metal rack that I made. I got some of this 2x4 or 2x3 rectangle stock from a friend of mine for free. So I welded up this little cantilever rack system here just to hold longer pieces of scrap metal. There's my broken bandsaw, and this was a really cheap unit off the marketplace, and it never worked that well anyway. I've actually upgraded since then, and maybe in a future video I'll show you my new setup. Here, this is sort of supposed to be the fabrication area. As you can see, more of my impeccable organization skills at the workbench. I have a problem with flat surfaces, as you can tell. Over here, right, this is what I was working on last week. These are the motor mounts for the Datsun, they're done. This is my welding table. A very good friend of mine, Dave, and I went in on the material and built these welding tables together. This thing is made out of 4-inch rectangle stock, 4x1.5 inch C-channel, and a solid 3/8 plate top, and it has adjustable feet on the bottom to level it out. I also have a heavier vise over here. So this is the bigger vise. It's not very large, but it's big enough, and it's bolted fast to the table. This one works fine for most things. Over in the corner, 80-gallon air compressor. That's I think a Fleet Farm unit. It works good. It's a little bit loud, but it provides all the air that I need. And then I do have a Harbor Freight benchtop glass cabinet. I use this a lot for like little brackets or like control arms and stuff like that. Some stuff that I don't want to buy new, I'll sandblast and then paint it black and put it back, right? I have had people ask about this. This is a wall hung spray paint can organizer, and all this is, it's built out of 1x4s. So you should build this out of 1x6s. There's a gap back here because we built this wrong, but all you do is you build a square or rectangle frame out of 1x6s, and then you lay in the inside pieces here at an angle so that the spray paint cans slide in there and stay up like this. You're able to fit a ton of spray paint cans in a small space. If you're better at organizing than I am, that can work really well for you. Let's see, over here, obviously you guys have seen the Datsun. Oh, here you go. Here's something new. These are the seats that I had picked up. The factory Datsun seats that I have, they don't look too bad, but the upholstery is ruined on both of them, and the passenger seat is actually missing the headrest. So instead of trying to rework these and spend a ton of money on like aftermarket covers and try to source a headrest, I just went ahead and bought new seats that I found at the Iola car show. And I think these seats are out of a Vega, and these might kind of look blue on camera, but this is actually just faded black, like perforated fabric, and then this is actually vinyl. So I think these will clean up just fine. And while they're not exactly the same as the factory seats, I do think that they'll work just fine in the Datsun. They're not too wide. So they came out of a Vega, like I said, and I think they're gonna work great. So over here, right now it just looks like storage for all the doors of the Datsun, and that's what's normally there. There's the AC unit, and then this shelving unit here is mainly parts, actually. There's the other Datsun seat. There's a bunch of other random parts for other cars. And then I have some Datsun parts, a whole bin full of old wiring. Every once in a while I'll dip into the wiring tote here and pull something out that I can use. Underneath, right here is a 280ZX front strut assembly. I have 2 of those. Those are going in the Datsun. Actually, as soon as I get done with this week or maybe next week's video, stitching the floor back together or the transmission tunnel, then I think I'm gonna work on putting the struts in there. I have not found a good video of exactly how to swap from a 510 strut to a 280ZX strut. So I'm gonna make a video. I think it's gonna be pretty easy, but then again, I think everything's gonna be easy, so it's probably gonna take forever. Harbor Freight engine hoist is still out. I am gonna use that to pull the engine and transmission back out of the Datsun shortly. Once I've made a couple marks on the transmission tunnel where I have to trim for the shifter. Once that's done, I can pull it out. Let's see. I think that's pretty much it. So I know this video is getting a little bit long. There isn't much to this video. However, I wanted to thank every single one of you. There's 114 subscribers. I think every video I try to mention how many subscribers we have because I feel like it's growing faster than I expected, but I am absolutely stunned. I'm sort of without words. I don't know how to thank everybody that has subscribed already and that continues to watch the videos. I'm really happy about that. This is a ton of fun for me to do. I really appreciate everybody watching. Finally, I think I'm gonna get to the announcement here. Finally, let's get to it. I wanted to do something a little different with this video. I wanted to show you guys kind of the workspace that we have here, and I'm very thankful and I'm very grateful for the workspace that I have. I know there's a ton of YouTubers out there and a ton of regular people. We're all regular people. There's a ton of people out there that do a lot more work than I do in a lot smaller space and with less tools. To those people out there, keep on doing what you're doing. I think that shows a lot of grit and a lot of determination. I think that's awesome. Thank you for subscribing. Here's what we're gonna do. Those of you who are subscribed, comment down below on this video a video request that you have, something that you'd like to see me shoot, whether it be something on the Datsun, the Oldsmobile, maybe some little fabrication thing. But I'm a fabricator, but we can try it. Comment your idea or your request for a video down below, and of the people that comment, I'm going to upload this video on Monday. So by Friday, by this week Friday, I'm gonna look through the comments of the video and I'm gonna pick 2 video ideas. If I pick your video idea, you will get a $50 gift card to O'Reilly's. I think pretty much everybody that watches my videos could use 50 bucks to O'Reilly's. Those 2 subscribers are gonna get a $50 gift card. I will reach out to you and I will figure out how to get it to you. Probably just mail it. Again, thank you to everybody for watching. I really appreciate it. I know this video is getting a little bit long and wordy. I usually have a lot to say. I cut a lot of it out. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. There's a lot more cool stuff coming. There's more Datsun content on the way. I'm working on this thing almost every day. Thanks a lot for the support so far.